Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
All right, let's see what happens. Ready?
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Oh, Jesus, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do all the stuff that I was supposed to do. Well, on this week's show, guess what? There is a book recall out there. I got to start this over. This is not working very well. Delete. Yes. Good. What happened to the pause button on here? Wish we had the pause button. All right, I'll make it work. Let's see, where am I at? I got to give my 2 cents up here. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, with the gas prices today, literally watch your gas. And if you want to kill weeds in your garden, just pee on them. And was it real or were they faking? The cast of Stranger Things tells all. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you surviving out there with the heat and everything that's been going on? Did that really go that long, that short? I'm not sure what it did. Anyways, fuck. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea in my head what's going on. I got 15,000 things going on, and I'm trying to... Try it again.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, with the prices of gasoline today, literally watch your gas. And if you want to kill your weeds in your garden, just pee on them. And was it real or were they faking it? The cast of Stranger Things tells all. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you getting along with everyone out there? I know prices are skyrocketing for everything around the whole entire board. We went grocery shopping the other day, and my wife said, well, what do you want this weekend for grocery shop or for dinners this weekend and then meal prep for the rest of the week? And I said, well, let's do what we call Fiesta Chicken. So she's like, all right, we'll do Fiesta Chicken. I'm like, great. So go down the aisles of the local Walmart here. Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, egg-laying chickens, not regular chickens, not meat-eating chickens. They're little scrawny guys out there. And we got cats and everything that encompass a farm. We've got our crops. Our crops are doing good. A bunch of tomatoes. We've been eating on all those. But for the most part, we're somewhat self-sufficient outside of getting the normal everyday stuff that we need at Walmart. Now, I went to the cooler, the meat cooler, and they had all the hamburger and stuff over there. And they had the pork, but absolutely no chicken whatsoever. Now, which is weird because we live just outside of Marshville in a beautiful little town we like to call, just outside of Charlotte in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And I've already said that again. And it's weird because we sit, in the middle of egg. And it's weird because we sit in the middle of chicken country. We've got Tyson Farms over there. We've got Purdue over there, and they're all processing plants, chicken processing plants. And then we have all these acreage around us that have all these chicken processing plants. And you would think that, you've got a town, that makes a certain item, that the town their orders would be fulfilled first. And then as you kind of broaden out further from those locations, then they wouldn't get them on the tail end of the journey to get their chicken and stuff. So unfortunately, our local Walmart did not have any chicken at all. So I'm like, came back home, like, babe, we can't make Fiesta chicken. And she's like, yeah, no worries. We'll go up to the other side of town and go to Food Line and get those chickens over there. We'll see if the local Food Line has chicken over there. I'm like, all right. So the next day, my wife asked me, I'm sorry, because I'm having a kind of a breakdown here. Maybe if I take those off, it's not so stimulating. I'm having a small breakdown. Okay, we're going to try this again. Obviously, I can't get it right. All right, let's try this again, please.
I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude. Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive. Well,
Welcome back, guys, on today's show. With gas prices the way they are today, literally watch your gas. And if you want to kill weeds, go ahead and pee on your garden. And also, was it real or were they faking it? The cast of Stranger Things tells all. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you getting by? Are you surviving and everything? Well, let me tell you a couple things that I've been doing just to kind of get by and kind of survive and stuff. Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have chickens and cattle and blah, blah, blah. You've heard the spiel over and over, time and time again. We're in the process of getting my dad's house built on the back side of the property. Just a small little 1,000 square foot house, which is fine. But, there's only two things we need to jump through hurdles on. Getting the water down there and get the septic tank down there. So I'm sitting there back and forth with the county. What do we need for a septic tank? Now, we're lucky because we're in a very rural area, which means they don't have a whole lot of people building houses left and right in our own little town here. Not like a big metropolis or something like that where, every time you blink, they're building a new house and, septic tanks are kind of gone by the wayside in those towns because they had the underground sewage pipe and all that stuff. Well, we don't. So, for them to, take my request, I almost get like an immediate response within 5 or 10 minutes of me sending an email to the environmental representation of our county, Union County. which is great. I don't know what I'm telling them. I don't know what I'm supposed to ask them or say to them, but they tell me back. But it's kind of like they're the ones in control of everything. So finally, I'm getting all that stuff situated. And so we're slowly getting that thing up and running, get my dad's house built down there on the backside of the property. Now, Sunday here on the ranch, we call it a ranch because it's part farm, part ranch. Sundays, we kind of like to relax. My wife does a lot of horse stuff throughout the week. She rides dressage. She goes to clinics. She does all that stuff, plus working her 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. job. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Sunday, it's our day off, decompress, relax and stuff. And I was watching a show. So my wife gets caught up on all her smut shows, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she's been watching Castle, which my dad can't stand that show, but my wife likes that show. And the common area where my wife watches the Castle program is out in the middle of the living room. His bedroom's like kind of off a tangent and he can kind of hear it, but nonetheless, I'm in the back room, and you guys know we have this big, huge theater room, 130-inch flat screen, whatever, on the wall, and theater chairs and stuff. And I'm back there just by myself. I got the dog. I got Cookie Puss sitting here right next to me, English Bulldog. She's about 11, almost going on 12 years old. And I sit there and I get caught up on my stuff. Now, one of the shows that I was watching was this show called Love on the Spectrum. And I've heard a lot of people talk about there's a UK version of it. They actually did one based here in the United States. And I said, you know what? Because people on the spectrum always has fascinated me. Because the reason why I say that is because growing up, my mom worked weird hours. She was in the hospitality industry working for a hotel. She was either at the front desk, she was the receptionist, she was the assistant to the general manager. So her hours were all over the place. Hotels don't shut down. They run 24 hours. And then my dad, based on his career that he was doing, he was a mortgage lender. And back in the Carter days and stuff, he was telling me stories, interest rates for home loans were, 11%, 15%. You think it's bad with your little 4% home loan mortgage rate that you're getting now? In the Carter era, in the early 70s, was around 11%. Can you imagine paying 11% right now on a home loan? You're dying. That's basically what my job was. My dad's job is to take advantage of everyone. I don't want to say he took advantage, but that's the way it was. If you got, everything. Anyways, I'm spiraling. Anyways. So needless to say, my mom had a half brother, and his name was Uncle Jim, and he was what they called in the business slow. He was slow. He got pushed through school. He's a very smart man. You could ask him at any time, what was the date on, for example, a small sample in the show was, they asked one of the people on the show of Love on the Spectrum, what day was June 30th, 1987? And he goes, oh, that's a Thursday. My uncle was that way. He understood that he could form normal. He wasn't, I don't want to say retarded. He just looked and thought things a lot different. So I don't want to say, and he's the one who basically, when I got home from school, he was there. When my mom and dad were working late or doing whatever thing, he was there. He was gone in the morning, so I had to do my own school things in the morning. But for the most part, my Uncle Jim basically, I don't want to say raised me. I don't want to take anything away from my mom and dad, but he was the one that was, when I got home, did all the stuff and got all my stuff done and did the laundry and cleaned the kitchen and did all that stuff. So that has always fascinated me, the way my Uncle Jim, and at the time, I was 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 years old. It always fascinated me that I've never met anyone just like him in my life. So when I see, of course, when he died, you're born in the 20s, he died in the 90s. So that type of where doctors prognose you, and say, well, he's on the spectrum. That was never even a word until the 60s. That wasn't even a word being, autistic or anything like that until the 50s and 40s. That wasn't even around. So there's a lot of people out there who are going, quote unquote, what they say undiagnosed. And they just kind of pushed them off. They pushed them in this little package and put them in this little world, and you have to deal with them. So when this whole show, there's a show called Atypical. Great show. 3 seasons. Just gives you an idea of the way that the spectrum world works. But this show was a reality show called Love on the Spectrum. And I wanted to see the different variations of Love on the Spectrum. Because not for nothing, I always thought there was something weird with me anyways. I don't know what it was, but maybe it osmosis. I don't know. But I just always thought the way I thought about things and try to assist different things, I always thought that I had a different approach on, problem solving and task management and those type things based on the way my Uncle Jim used to do things. So I watched Love on the Spectrum, and, I don't want to say I did it for like research, but just to do it. And you see all the different levels of autism and everything. And I'm like, yes, I've got like a clipboard in front of me, and I'm clicking boxes on there, checking off boxes. And I go, yeah, I do that a lot. I do. And then by the end of the show, there's 6 episodes. Great show. You kind of cry sometimes. You kind of laugh sometimes. But once the show was done, that's Love on the Spectrum US, I was like going, well, and they give it, you recap, these people are still together, these people are not together, yada, yada, yada. And I was like going, I wasn't watching them to see if they connected. I wanted to see what their level of autism or being on what they call a spectrum. Because when you hear the word spectrum, you think of a large broadcast of different levels of being autistic. So I tell you that to tell you this. I went grocery shopping the other day. We always go grocery shopping on Friday. We go and do everything for the house, get all the groceries and stuff. We dredge into town. My dad and I dredge into town. We got our shopping list. He buys all the stuff that he needs for the week. I buy the stuff that we need for the week, my wife and I. And then I buy all the stuff for the weekend. We always do. We like to do a big meal on Saturday with the 3 of us because include my dad, so he doesn't feel like an alien in our house. And then a big Sunday meal as well, again, so he doesn't feel like he's being alienated. So I get to Walmart, and of course the shortages, the food supply chains or whatever, there is absolutely no chicken, like chicken breast, chicken anything like that. And that was the main part of our meal on Saturday. Text my wife, okay, they don't have any chicken of any sort. No ground. I mean, they got frozen bags of stuff, but I mean, you're paying, $9 a pound as to, $2, $3 a pound for regular chicken. She's like, don't worry, come home. We'll go to Food Line the other direction on the property and we'll get chicken. I'm like, all right. So then the next day comes around and my wife goes in between her horse riding and doing all that stuff. She's like, are you leaving the house today? I said, no, not really, but I can. She's like, well, you don't have to do it today because they're not open. Can you go on Monday to the Vision Works, to the eye doctor, and pick up my prescription for my lenses? And while you're out there, you might as well, while you're at Walmart, go ahead and grab chicken to see if they filled the shelves yet. I'm like, all right, cool. So in my mind, I'm hearing Vision Works or Vision Place at Walmart. Now, fortunately, our Walmart does have a Vision Place where people can walk in and get their glasses and stuff. And then on the other side of that is an actual doctor where they do the click, 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 click. Does that look better? Does A or B look better? That type of stuff. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to swing in there, go to the optometrist in Walmart, and then grab the chicken and head out the door and head home for the rest of the day. So I'm like, all right, babe, I'm leaving. She's like, all right. So I go to the optometrist in Walmart and I walk in at the front desk and not that they're busy. There's only 2 people there. I think there's 3 people working there. And there might have been 2 people in the front office or people looking at glasses, I guess. And nobody in the back room. And I walk up and the guy goes, "Can I help you?" I'm like going, yeah. Here to pick up some contacts for, my wife. Name, told him the name. He's like, and he's like, "I don't have any." Couldn't be bothered with me. Maybe next door. They got some sample stuff next door. Maybe go next door. So I go out of one door, back into another door. And I'm like going, "I'm here to pick up some contacts for my wife." "Oh, what's your wife's name?" Told her the name. And she looks around. She's like, "I don't have anything. Maybe they're back next door." So I'm like, all right, now made this extra special trip to go to this optometrist, and I'm bouncing back and forth. I came back to the guy. I go, "Hey, guy, she just bounced me over here." And he's like, "Well, I'm in the middle of a customer right now." And I'm like thinking to myself, there's 2 of you. There's only 1 customer in the place. Why are you panicking? Dude, take it down a notch, please. So the girl, young girl, he's like, points to me, points to the drawer. He's like, "Can you help him? His wife's name is, I don't know. What's your wife's name again?" Yeah. Coming back to this place. "What's your wife's name again?" Told her the girl my wife's name. And she opens up the drawer like you're picking up photos. Remember back in the day, you used to pick up photos at Photo Lab? And she's going through the thing. And she's like, "No, I don't have anything." And I'm texting my wife at the time because now I'm panicking. I'm like going, great. They don't have your stuff. I'm going to come home. She's going to be mad at me because they don't, not mad at me, but mad at the place because they don't have it and she didn't get the email or whatever. And she goes, "No, it's Vision Works, not Vision Center." And I go, "No, okay. I literally go, "I apologize. I've come to the wrong place. I'll be right back. I got to go somewhere else." So I go get the chicken, and my dad, of course, wants ice cream. "You going to Walmart?" "Yes." "Can you give me some ice cream?" "Yes, Dad, I'll get you some ice cream." All right, when I come back, I'm going to tell you what happened when I went to go get the correct lenses at the correct place. When we come back, stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts. And while you're there, get yourself something for free. We have a little section there called Free Swag. Make sure you fill out that little form there. And we'll send you out some stickers, some magnets. We have some little buttons to put on your backpack and stuff. We got a bunch of things over there. Just fill that out. And we'd love to hear from you as well. And the way you do that is you want to be part of the show. We'd love for you to be part of the show. There's a little blue bar that's floating around that says "Be Heard." Click on that. Opens up a microphone on your tablet, on your PC, on your smart device. Make sure you allow the microphone to have access to it. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your... I've got too much shit going on. I'm picking up chicken and contact lenses all in the same place, which is a weird phenomenon if you think about it in your head. But just speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want to ask us any questions. If you want to be part of the show at any time, just click on that and we'll play that message. It comes right to our inbox and we'll play that very message on the very next podcast as well. Now, so I leave Walmart. It's a weird combination. You always think in your mind, all right, he's got 4 pounds of chicken breasts, 2 things of ice cream, Rocky Road and something else, and contact lenses. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a makeshift road trip or shopping trip, if you ask me. But I got all the stuff. And no, I didn't get the contact lenses stuff. No, I'm still in Walmart. So I leave Walmart. And for those of you who don't know, we here on the French, we've ordered a Chevy Silverado 2500 series for the farm. For it to pull our horse trailers around. Thank God we haven't had any horse shows or any kind of big clinics that we have to go to. So we've been borrowing like friends' trucks as needed to pull our horse trailer around. But we've ordered this thing back when the chip shortage just started. So in the process, I've been driving our little farm truck around. And our farm truck is a 1992 Nissan D21. I call it a little hard body. I think it's got 206,000 miles on it. I don't know. The odometer doesn't work anymore. But it is a 5-speed on the floor manual 4-speed or 4-cylinder truck. Red. Love it. Runs great. AC runs great. It's great for doing long travels. Once you get into fifth gear, you don't want to have to sit there and stick shift anymore. Now, of course, 30 years ago, all the cars, or somewhat most of the cars, had some option of being stick shift or automatic. And we as a country appreciated the automatics. But the other part of the country still were driving around stick shifts. And for me, to drive around a stick shift, to go around different corners, no power steering, by the way, to leave Walmart, to make 2 lefts and a right and 2 lefts to get to VisionWorks was a task in itself. I mean, you're turning, you're trying to switch lanes, you're shifting gears, downshifting gears, you're riding the clutch, you're burning the clutch out, there's smoke coming out of the back. I'm kidding about the last part, but that's all what's going on in my mind. And you're trying to get into this, hit the brakes, make sure you don't stall the engine, to turn quickly into this little driveway across from Walmart, which is about 3/4 of a mile down the road, that says VisionWorks. I'm like, great, I made it. Walked in. Can I help you? Yes, I'm here. And there's nobody in there. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm here to pick up some contact lenses for my wife. Told her the name, told him the name, told the person the name. I don't want to assume, with his beard and his bald head, I don't want to assume he's a male or anything. And he handed me the bag. Looked like I was picking up chips and salsa from somewhere. Handed me the bag. And I said, do I need to pay you anything? He's like, no, insurance covers that. And I go, all right, peace out. And there's a Chipotle next door. Can say that word. And I didn't buy Chipotle. I have to get home. I'm tired. I got other stuff to do. So I drive home, get home, put everything on the counter. She's like, how'd it go? I said, don't even go there, sister. Don't even know. I said, everything's fine. We're good to go. I got some stuff to do in the studio. I'm going to be up there for a minute, and I'll be down here to help you do the chicken and stuff. She's like, well, I have a call at, my wife's always got a call. So if she comes in the main part of the house, it's like a countdown. She's like, I got a call in 4 minutes. So, okay, if you need me for 4 minutes, let me know what you need. And no, we're fine. And then sometimes in the morning she'll go, I got a call at 10. I got a call at 1. Okay, no problem. That's your job. That's what you do. We'll stay out of your way and stuff. So I come up to the studio and I literally exhausted from stick shifting and moving around and no power steering and going from one place to get chicken and ice cream and to go to fight with the people at the eye doctor, the optometrist at Walmart who had no idea and they had no patience for me to sit there and figure out what my problem was. Instead of just saying, you could just said, hey, are you in the right location? There's a VisionWorks right across the street. We are Vision Center. That is VisionWorks. No, nothing. Zippo. They couldn't do anything. They didn't even want to lift a finger to fart. Fuck them. So I come back home and I'm like, oh, no, babe, I got some stuff to do upstairs. I come up to the studio and we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like called Marshville. The studio sits above our 3-car garage. I know baller. Could have had, Uber go pick up the contact lenses and stuff. And we have about 800 square feet, completely AC'd, completely insulated, completely sound enclosed and stuff. And I get it to the studio and I have a little quote unquote casting couch over there on the right-hand side. And you can see me waving. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see me waving to the camera here. And over there on the right-hand side, we have a nice little casting couch for people who want to sit here and watch the show as it's being recorded. And I've got a little daddy pillow over there. I took a little nap. My wife texts me halfway through the nap saying, I don't have a call for another 15 minutes. Do you want me to help you get the chicken recipe ready? Yes, no problem. Close to lunchtime? Sure. I'll go downstairs. Go downstairs, and I get into the our kitchen area. Now, our kitchen has an island in the middle that's about 6.5 feet long or 6.5 feet wide by about 12 to 15 feet long. We have a stove right in the middle of it. Gas stove. It's great. It's got ventilation, all that stuff. So I come downstairs. I had a breakdown, and I'll tell you the breakdown here in just one sec. So I come downstairs. My wife meets me downstairs, And she had a Zoom call meeting that she had. Remember, I said, I got a Zoom call meeting, or I got a meeting, I got a call and whatever. And she had all her makeup on. Normally she walks around the house without makeup. I'm working from home and you're just doing like regular phone calls. You're not doing face-to-face meetings. She had her hair done. It looked beautiful. She had her makeup done. It looked beautiful. She had a nice a shirt on. And then she almost looked like Tom Cruise. She had the white button-up collared shirt on. I mean, full button-up shirt on. And not that she wasn't wearing underwear, but just like regular shorts and stuff with socks. And I kind of looked at her and I was like, oh, whoa, all right. She looks at me. She's like, where's the chicken at? And I'm like, all right, I had to snap out of it. All right, chicken's over here. She's like, all right, you need to put, and she's opening the packages. How many pounds? All right, put 2 pounds of this. Where's this? Where's that? And she's grabbing all the canned stuff, the black beans, the chili tomatoes, and the cream cheese and stuff. And she's like, all right, I got 3 minutes before this call. Put that in there, open that up, do all this stuff. And that wouldn't be too bad. That's fine. I'm like, all right, I'm in make food mode. I'm like, all right. My dad is on the opposite side of the island that's in the center of the kitchen, and he's struggling with a bag of frozen hamburgers that he cannot open. And you're like, well, what's wrong with that? Let him figure it out. He's left the cast iron pot or the cast iron skillet on the gas stove on. It's burning. I see smoke coming off of that. So I'm like, babe, just tell me what to do. My dad's like going, he's looking at it. He's 76 years old. He's looking at it. Dad, it's a plastic bag. Take a knife to it. Have at it. Open it up. It's got to be resealable. It's not resealable, Dad. Just get a knife. We have plenty of Ziploc bags. You can put it in the garbage or in the Ziploc bag. Babe, what else do I need to do? Make sure you drain these. So I'm back and forth. I'm volleying between my wife and my dad. My dad's like, I can't get it open. I go over to my dad. Babe, hold on one sec. Go to my dad. Rip the thing that says tear here off. Pulled out. I said, how many hamburgers you want? One. All right, one. Boom. What do you want to do with the rest of them? Freeze them? All right. Grab a bag under there. Grab it. Throw the rest in the freezer. Throw it in there. I go back over to my wife. Babe, I got a call in about a minute and a half. Okay, that's fine. Just tell me what I need to do here. She's like, well, I can do them. Give me those and open them. No, just tell me what I need to do. I don't need you to do them for me. Just tell me. Open this, open that, open this, and do all that stuff. She's like, and she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, babe, I am getting totally overstimulated. I've dealt with the people down at the, and I told her this later. I'm like, oh, nothing, babe. I'm just trying to move through this, And so I got everything done, She got on her call. Everything's fine. She looked beautiful. Her hair was all done up. She had the little curly cues on the side of her face. Looked hot, by the way. Makeup's all done. She's got the Tom Cruise button-up business shirt on. I think it's probably one of mine or something. Short little biker pants on because it's underneath the camera. I know. And socks on. And, I'm just waiting for it. But she's doing her business call. Got everything done. Got my dad going. The pots, the hamburger sitting in the cast iron skillet. It's burning. It's flaming up. Dad, turn the exhaust fan on. I didn't do that. Turn the exhaust fan on. I got the chicken going. I set my timer for 2 hours on my watch. And I'm like going, everyone's done. My dad ate. Note to self, don't be in the kitchen during my dad's lunchtime because he will suck you into a vortex of not knowing what to do type things. So my dad ate. I said, hey, how'd the hamburger taste? He's like, oh, it was fine. Well, buy frozen hamburgers from a place called Sam's Club. I don't know what you're expecting, but for the most part, he was good. I went into my wife and I said, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, babe, I'm fine. I said, it was a lot. It was overstimulating the whole entire issue from going to the optometrist, going to the wrong optometrist, going to the chicken thing and getting chicken and ice cream for my dad and then coming home and then trying to figure out some stuff here in the studio and then coming back down real quick and dealing with you and my dad. And both of you are like left ear, right ear. You know, one's playing a speed metal song, the other one's playing this slow waltz, and I can't distinguish between the two of them. I said I had an issue. I had a problem. I broke down, and it literally took me 45 minutes to sit on the back porch, and nothing was involved. No sedatives, no stimulants, no nothing. It was, you know, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm sitting there on the back porch just going, and then I start thinking about the show I just watched and Love on the Spectrum and the way they were dealing with people outside of their normal everyday activities, their normal everyday routines. And then I think about my Uncle Jim. My Uncle Jim, he would deal with things in his own level, not as, you know, as much as that. But then I started thinking, have I missed that cutoff as far as being diagnosed with some sort of spectrum of autism? Because to meet me, to know me, you would think, yeah, he's a nice guy. But when you actually sit there and listen to the way I approach things and do things, it drives my wife insane the way I approach things. And so I actually sit there and think to myself, and my mom would never say anything. And unfortunately, she's passed away. I've asked her for medications and stuff that I was on, and she claims ignorance. And I asked my dad. My dad doesn't know because he, you know, not that he was not part of the picture, but he was off doing his own thing and stuff. I don't know. And the information that I had or needed is gone. So I'm dealing with that. And trying to make everything better. Damn it. Oh, that's that, you know, the whole thing. My best friend, who unfortunately passed away, he said, "Oh, that's Trav being Trav. You know, that's Trav being Trav." But that was the excuse all the time. That was just Trav being Trav. So that was it. It was, you know, I was kind of putting the pieces together, you know, and not that I'm an old guy or anything like that, but there's a generation that probably missed out on that diagnosis. And I don't know if I'm part of that generation that missed out on that, but hopefully you guys can see through that and see that I'm a normal boy. All right, guys. When we come back, I promise you I'm going to pay off all the stuff that I teased at the beginning of the show. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Hello. Oh, there you go. So much drama in the LBC. All right. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts while you're there. Get yourself some free stuff. And we also love to hear from you as well. And you can do that over there by clicking on Be Heard. Opens up a microphone, sends a message right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. And while you're there, enjoy the streaming video. And while you're there, enjoy the streaming audio. They are all the TikTok songs are all the number one songs that are being played right now currently on the radio and not the radio as well. That's what Prophet Radio takes pride in. And make sure you see all the independent artists that are showcased over there and some of our sponsors as well. Make sure you show them some love while you're out there. And Jesus Christ, I forgot to do a lot of things here. So much going on. I'll fix it in post. Now, are you familiar with the infamous brown noise? There's a myth or something that if a certain note is played, I think South Park did a whole thing on, if they hit this certain note, this certain frequency, that everyone would shit themselves. That's what they call the brown noise. Brown noise is kind of like white noise, but kind of the same, but a little bit different. And let me explain. White noise is just noise in the background, whether it be, the TV or just like people talking and stuff. I deal personally with a lot of white noise. And, back to my discussion about, calming me down or doing anything like that, I constantly have to have either earplugs in to listen to my own breathing and everything, or having some kind of, and I have to pick a certain talk show where I find the people's voices are almost the same, and it's kind of like when I listen to them, it's like, I'm not really listening to the voices or what they're talking about. I'm just listening to the pattern and the speech pattern in their voices as well. I know a lot of people have emailed me and say, hey, I love listening to your show because your voice puts me to sleep. No, my voice doesn't put me to, or that's not what they mean. They're just telling me that I guess my voice in some way helps them relax, helps them, in their soft time and their winding down time. They enjoy that. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate those compliments. But this person right here on TikTok, of course, everyone's on TikTok, has discovered a different type of brown noise. A TikTok user has recently discovered brown noise with some declaring it to be revolutionary and life-changing. Well, let's see what happens. TikToker Nyla Bubb, B-U-B-B, shared this viral video documenting her first time of listening to the quote-unquote brown noise. As Bubb placed the headphones on her ears, she is visibly surprised and elated of the sound effect. While listening to it, she's like, where did my thoughts go? Bubb's TikTok video received over 1 million likes and 9 million views. This calming effect of the video's sound moved through viewers. It's just the perfect sound is what they're saying. It made my brain feel so soft the best way as possible. What is a brown noise and how is it different from white noise? According to Live Science, brown noise, aka brownie noise, come on, really, is a type of low frequency sound produced by the same process that causes so-called Brownian motion. The low frequency noise soothing effect derived from its closeness to the sounds of waterfalls, thunder, and heavy rain. While white noise, brown noise, and pink noise are all considered members of the quote-unquote white noise family, strong frequencies of brown noises are what differentiates it from the rest. According to Sound of Sleep, white noise has varied frequencies and is broadly spread across the sound of spectrum, while pink noise is louder at the low frequency end of the spectrum and softer at the high frequency of the end. Despite the scientific differences between the color of noises, the benefits of each are similar. People say that they listen to whatever they sound like is more calming and pleasant in effect. So here we go. We're going to listen to the brown noise that Natalia Bubb was listening to. So I know a lot of you people out there listening to us on headphones. Now, I'm not going to play the whole 4-minute video, but I'm going to play probably a good 30 seconds of it. So what I want you to do is get to a nice, comfortable, common place for you to relax. And once you get there, tell everyone else to shut the fuck up. Turn the lights off, do whatever you need to do to get in your nice, comfortable place. And then I want you to think about the last TV, the last movie, the last book that you read or the last conversation you had and see how quickly it goes away. So here we go. You ready? I'll give you a second. I'm going to count you down. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? And awake. There you go. So that's what they're calling the brown noise. It's not the typical brown noise that you normally hear or people talk about as far as someone pooping them pants. But hopefully you can find that. There are some ASMR YouTube channels. There are some things on Spotify, on iHeartRadio as well. Hopefully we're one of them that kind of, when you listen to us, we calm you down. We get into your ear holes. I hope everyone's doing okay and everything like that. All right, guys. Now, there's been something that's been happening for a long time. As crops have become, more and more prevalent to feeding the whole entire United States, there's more aspects of taking care of taking care of crops to make sure that whether our family gets them or the buyers of the product gets them. For example, the whole planet can't live on lettuce alone, but lettuce is needed throughout so many different aspects of commerce as far as restaurants and everything like that. So they're having to make these different products to help maintain their crops and their vegetables and stuff. One of the products that was being harped on, I think there was a lawsuit many years ago. I say many years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. Roundup got a big lawsuit because they found cancer-causing agents in Roundup themselves. Now, for those of you who don't know, back in I believe the 60s, during I forget what war it was, Korea War or something like that. I think Korea was in 50s. Roundup actually came across and was able to produce a patent for life. And when I say a patent for life, they created a seed, let's say corn, for example, that was able to resist the pesticide or the herbicide that was going to be sprayed on that corn, where the corn would survive and all the weeds and everything around it that wasn't corn died. They had the patent of life. Roundup was the first one to do that. Now, patents come and go, but now researchers have stated that the weed-killing chemical found in majority of U.S. Americans. Now, studies have shown that a major part of Americans... Hold on. Got to get this situation right. Studies have shown that Roundup, or the weed-killing chemical, is found in a majority of Americans' urine. On Monday, the National Health and Nutrition... On Monday, the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, or you don't care, detailed the analysis and found that 80% of urine samples, 1,885 of the 2,310 samples collected from children and adults between 2013 and 2014, had detectable levels of glyphosate. Glyphosate, or glyphosate, I got to figure out how to say that. Hold on. I can figure this out right now. Because I'm at that point. Oh, I got to turn you up again. Sorry.
Glyphosate. Glyphosate.
Glyphosate. Glyphosate well, anyways, is the active ingredient in herbicides, including the popular brand Roundup. According to the World Health Organization, glyphosate, fuck, I don't know how to say these words, is the active ingredient in herbicides, including the popular brand Roundup. Glyphosate is most widely used in herbicide in the country, yet until now had very little data exposed. Children in the U.S. are regularly exposed to this cancer-causing weed killer through the foods that they eat virtually every day. Researchers said that the food is the main source of the exposure to the chemical. People of all ages should be concerned. People of all ages should be concerned. All right, so let's do it this way. You want to do 100% organic? Fine, no problem. You want to do 100% no herbicide, fungicide, anything like that? Fine, no problem. Do me a favor. Go out to my garden out there and see how long you can live on what's in my garden right there. When I say my garden, we have a bunch of corn. We got a bunch of tomatoes. I got bugs eating my bell peppers. Now, I plan on at least, every 2 weeks to 3 weeks having maybe 6 to 7 bell peppers. But without any kind of pesticides or anything on that, I can't get maybe 3 of them because they get eaten up. And you're like, well, there's other options and there's other things like that. Okay, fine. What are the other options? Oh, you could do soap and rubbing alcohol and do all the other stuff, or you could get ladybugs. You can do all these other things. Okay, fine. So the cost per plant, you have to look at it that way. Cost per plant is, let's say, for me to just spray something on it costs me 4 or 5 cents. 4 or 5 cents, I can keep this plant protected for you. Or I can protect this plant for $6 every time I spray it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, I'm not for nothing. We did it to ourselves. We as a nation have done it to ourselves. They say, cattle and all that stuff. I'm spiraling into a wrong aspect that I don't want to get into on this show. But I mean, think about it. They said, here we go. Deacon's got hold on. Where's my soapbox? Here it is. I'm going to sit it right here. I'm going to stand on it. Well, actually, I'm going to kneel on it because my back hurts. We want so much meat as a nation. As a nation, we have to have, some kind of processing plants, out of sight, out of mind. We don't want to see all the cows being, done all that stuff. And now everyone wants to do that. And then they say, well, fluoride, here's a prime example. Fluoride is bad for, in the water. Don't add fluoride to the water because it's not good for you. Have you seen the people in England? I know that's a big thing. They were all vegetable eaters back in the day, but fluoride for the most part is okay. It's okay. They're saying that Roundup in small forms is okay. I think the article said that, 0.0008 milliliters or whatever of Roundup was found in your urine. Do you know how much other crap we put in our bodies every day on a regular basis without even knowing it? I mean, when you walk, as soon as you wake up, you've got AC cooling your house. Who knows what's in that AC? Oh, there's this and that and this and that. When you brush your teeth, you know what's in that water that you're getting from the tap outside of the fluoride and the fluoride that's in your toothpaste? Who knows? But to say that we should be worried about a little bit of Roundup in our pee, cancer-causing agents, then don't drive a car. Because when you're in a car, you get all the exhaust of everyone on the highway, on the freeway. When you're driving around, you get the same exposure to a minimal amount of carcinogens than you would anywhere else, no matter what you did. So, I mean, just give me a break. Give me a break. Just calm down. Focus on something else. Focus on gas not being, $8, $9 an hour. And speaking of that, when we come back, watch this guy who owns a Mercedes tricks the guy next to him to pay for his gas. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And don't forget, we are broadcasting. Let me see. What am I supposed to say here? Hold on. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting from the bellandtea.com studios. Make sure you check them out at bellandtea.com for your apparel wear. And make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio. And I don't know what I want to say there. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting from the bellandtea.com studios. Check out Bell & Tea for the cheap, fashionable clothing produced locally here in the United States for faster production and great prices. And don't forget, you want something for free? Of course you do. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting from the Bell & Tea studios, bellandtea.com. Check out bellandtea.com for cheap, fashionable clothing locally produced in the United States for faster production and shipping and the best quality as well. Now, here on Deacon Live, we do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of videos out there. We have a lot of social contacts, and we're on TikTok as well. TikTok kind of goes into more of a personal side of what Deacon Live is, so make sure you follow us on all those as well. Now, there's a recall out there. I know every 5 minutes we turn around, there's a recall for something, whether it be asparagus out there, peanut butter at one time. There's always some kind of recall. Well, now there is a book recall. A children's book is being recalled. Scholastics, you remember Scholastics? The people that makes books for children has issued a voluntary recall after a popular children's book was found to pose a hazard to young children. Now you ask yourself, well, why is this book hazardous to young children? Well, the book Shake, Look, and Touch book was recalled in multiple countries on July 7th after the company received multiple reports about the pom-poms on the books detaching them and making them, quote-unquote, a choking hazard for young children. First of all, everything on the ground is a choking hazard for young children. The Shake Look book, which measures 6 inches by 2 inches by 8 inches, is a plush book with touch and feel components for young children. Great. Love that book. I read it twice. Can't wait for the movie. The book was sold in 2 versions, including one version without the pom-poms. However, the Shake, Look, Touch book with pink and green pom-poms attached to the book with a string is included in the recall. Scholastics received two, are you listening to me? 2 consumer reports of the pom-poms detaching. Though there were no injuries in the reports, then why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about 2 detachments? Guess what? The other day, I had a flat tire. I almost hit someone on the side of the road. I had a recall on all my tires because they might go flat at some time, somewhere. We don't know what's going on. But I didn't hit anyone. My tires didn't go flat. So let's recall all the tires. Give me a fucking break, people. 2 recalls of the books feature the ISBN number. Get your pens out there. The number is 978-1-338-464. I know, you're not paying attention anyways. 564-1. Images of the specific book include in the recall can be found by clicking here. I'm not clicking here. If you have a book that's got pom-poms attached to it and you've got a 2 to 3 year olds, guess what? their world is pulling and putting in their mouth. They're going to yank those fucking pom-poms off like their dad's fucking nuts and throw them across the room, and the dog will be choking on them, not the child. But for the most part, you know, it's a volunteer recall. You can turn your books in, and they'll give you a gift certificate, which you'll leave on the floor, and then it'll get crumpled up, and then someone in the family is going to choke on that gift certificate somewhere in the house. Guarantee you. And then you got another issue on your mind. Now, this guy right here, speaking of other issues on your mind, out in California, now I know California, we love California. They got us, they gave us a bunch of great music, not including the Red Hot Chili Peppers, not including, I don't know, there's a couple other bands out there that came out of California I really can't stand. Oh, I know. Give me a break. Come on, there's so much more music out there. They gave us the electric car, which is great. Now, this gentleman right here, with gas prices being as high as they are, beware of the pump nozzle scandal. Now, you ask yourself, what's the pump nozzle scandal? That's the pump nozzle scandal. So when you go to a gas pump, right? For those of you who, you primitive human being, you loathe you scum of the earth that have cars that still have gas pumps on them or needs petrol fuel. When you pull up to a gas pump, you have the hose that comes out of the top, which for the longest time, I don't know if you guys know this, never came out of the top. It always came out of the side somewhere. And then you had that curlicue, like a spicy French fry, and you'd pump your gas, and then you literally would see people like lift up the hose to get that last 30 cents of gas in the hose into the cars. Well, of course, pump manufacturers got smart. They put the thing up on top. Who knows what's left in the pump after that? You can't see it. It's out of state, out of mind. But what they've done, the mistake is they put the hoses on the, if you're watching me on the video here, I'm actually doing the movement. Let me make sure I'm live on the air here. There you go. Oh, there I am. So what they've done is they put the hoses on the top, and you can't tell if it's on one side or the other. So what's happened is cheaters out there are switching the pumps around and waiting for you to come by and pay for your pump or pay for your gas on your side of the pump. Now, this guy right here was actually caught on camera. The man driving this lowest form of human, he's got sports shoes on. He's got a whole decked out entourage of clothing. He's got a Mercedes that's all murdered out with the black rims and everything else, was caught shamelessly swapping the nozzles at the California gas stations with another unexpected driver parked on the opposite side who ended up paying for his fuel. Surveillance caught this footage pictured at the AM/PM gas station in Roseville, California. So if you want to see this picture right here and you can see what's actually going on, go over to profitradio.com. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see this as well. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Here he is. Look at him. So you can see that the handle comes out of the top of the pump, and he switched it. It goes over the other side of the pump, and he just kind of switched it around. He's kind of waiting. And there's a switch right there. So the guy puts his credit card in and starts filling up his piece of shit little Chevy Lumina over here. Meanwhile, the guy in the Mercedes pulls his pump out, pulls the handle, and starts pumping his gas. So what he's seeing is the guy who paid for his gas, he's seeing the numbers go. He's seeing the numbers go, thinking that he's putting gas in his car, and then he hangs up the pump. It's got to be perfectly timed. So here's a message from the AM/PM assistant manager. Hello, I am the assistant manager from the AM/PM. I wanted to warn everyone that this man is going around switching the nozzles on the pumps while you think you are paying for the gas that you're pumping in your car. He has the nozzle on the other side, and it's really going into his car. Please remember that at any gas station, your hose nozzle will always be on the same side as the holster of the hose and will never cross over the pump. Please be safe out there. How about fix the goddamn pump nozzle so it doesn't look that way? So two things happen there. Guy drives a Mercedes. Guy lives in California. Douchebag. And he's switching the gas nozzle to fill up his Mercedes. All right, guys. We got one little more. We got one more segment to get into. And we'll let you get back to what you got to do. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting from the BellandT.com studios. For cheap fashionable clothing, go to BellandT.com for your latest outfit. Now, there's a little program that on Netflix that's called Stranger Things. I watched the whole entire season one. Season one was great. Season two, I was like, all right, well, how are they going to make this work as far as a broadcast, or how are they going to make it, like more of a series or anything? Then season 3 came around. I was like, all right, well, got that. And then season 4 came around. They had a 6-hour last grand finale of season 4. And my wife goes, oh, did you finish your Stranger Things? And I go, yeah. She's like, how was it? I go, I have no idea still what's going on. I literally do not know. I don't want to say the show is well written. I don't want to say the show is interesting. It is interesting to a certain point. I mean, the relationships are kind of short. I mean, you're dealing with kids that started the program at, 11, 12 years old, maybe 11, 12 years old. And then by the time they get to season 4, they're like, 25, 26 years old, but they're still trying to play, 6, 7-year-old kids. I'm losing something. I'm losing it. Now, I understand that season 5 is going to come out. It's going to take about 2 years for that to happen. And they're going to talk about, spoiler alert, by the way, season 5 is going to be later on, like they're going to address their ages, like they're going to write the script based on their ages at that time. So they're not going to, the one kid, the one kid's actually 30 years old. He's playing it, 19-year-old. It's kind of like Melrose Place. It's kind of like Grease. My wife said the other day, she's like, I was watching Grease the other day, and as a kid, you're like going, oh, those kids are cool and they're older. But you look at Grease now, they look like a bunch of pedophilias running around in leather and bobby socks and stuff. But there's a couple people, actually there's 2 people that have taken great notice on season 4 of Stranger Things. One is the obvious, and that is this gentleman right here, Brett Gelman. And you're like going, Deacon, who the fuck is Brett Gelman? Well, for those of you who don't know, he is, hold on, I got to go through this. Brett Gelman is not exactly the first person you envision when you think about a 1980s style action star, the comedic actor whose Arabic roles, I don't know what he's saying. He's been in let's put it this way. He's been in a bunch of movies and a bunch of sitcoms and stuff. Hold on. But you may know him during Stranger Things as, what's his name? You might know him as Murray Ballman, the Yang to Winona Ryder's Yang to break, what's his name? Spoiler alert, out of the Russian prison. And he actually studied, he insisted that he was a, martial art expert and doing all this stuff during the show. Well, here he is. He actually took a lot of time out of his personal life and trained to be a martial art expert. So here we go. If you want to see this video, all you have to do is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio, click on Deacon Live, or you can go over to YouTube and see us as well. So here you go. Here is Brett Gelman showing you what it takes or what it took to be his character, Murray Ballman.
My arms are like iron. My feet, fingers are like arrows. My arms are like iron. My feet are like spears. Hi, I'm Brett Gelman, and today, along with my master, Philip Rhee, I'm going to be showing you a lot of different martial arts techniques that helped me prepare to become the karate master known as Murray Bauman from a little unknown show called Stranger Things.
I have karate from 1 to 3 on Fridays.
The training pretty much consisted of me training with Master Philip Rhee and Master Simon Rhee for about 3 months, 4 days a week. 2 months before the pandemic hit, and then a month leading up to the shoot. And it was really learning a wide variety of punches, kicks, blocks, things of this nature, so that I would have as big of a vocabulary as I could for once I started to work with our fight choreographer, Hiro Koda. I am now a purple belt, so I've graduated.
Oh, good for him.
One of the reasons, the real reason that I call Master Philip Rhee and Master Simon Rhee master is because I'm learning an aggressive technique. I'm learning basically to kill someone if I have to, you know, in order to defend myself or defend someone I love. So that's an aggressive thing. And if I don't balance that out, calling them master is reminding me that I have to be humble. So I'm not aggressive for no reason. Now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Master Philip Rhee. And he's taught me these moves. I mean, basically, we're going to be going through.
So all the moves that you saw him do in Stranger Things, he actually physically learned them. He wasn't making them up. I mean, they were scientifically or Asianifically done. He did a lot of training, 3 or 4 months of training to learn that part, to learn all the lingo, to learn the actions, the movement, and all that stuff. And it worked out very well, because when I was watching him during the show, during Stranger Things, I was like going, wow, he's really good. He looks like he could be kind of deadly.
Of my workout. Woo! Beautiful. So what you just witnessed were the many aspects of my workout. My martial arts workout, my martial arts training, that not only that I did for Stranger Things, but that I continue to do in my life. Yeah!
Yeah! Well, good for him. He's doing good with that. And then you say, all right, well, what's the other training and stuff that actually happens? Sometimes you see, one of my biggest pet peeves is when you see someone play a guitar. And I'm a big guitar player. I know exactly where chords should be, where your fingers should be on the fretboard. I understand all that. So when I see someone playing a guitar, I go, hey, he's not doing it. He's faking it. He's faking it. Well, don't forget, spoiler alert, the scene where Eddie Munson was out there playing Metallica's guitar solo, he actually knew how to play that. And I've got proof. If you want to see this video, again, go to profitradio.com. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. So here is the video of Eddie Munson, who is actually the actor named as Joseph Quinn, showing his skills. Now, I'm going to play it, and it's going to be... he's off on a couple of them, but come on, give him a break. He doesn't play this every day. So here he is. With this tweet saying, practice makes perfect. So here we go. Let's turn it up. And I hope you guys enjoy. Watch him. This is... What's his name? Who are you again? This is Joseph Quinn showing his talents on the guitar, trying to recreate the scene that he had, or practicing the scene that he had to do at the end of season 4. So here we go. That's him playing. Now he's playing along with the music too, but still. Oh, he messed up a little bit there. Still him. Nailed it. Yeah. His arms got to get tired. Yeah, missed a note there. It's the equivalent of watching someone play, what was it, the rock and roll thing on the guitar for PlayStation. It's kind of like watching him play Guitar Hero. Now he did well. I mean that's a fast song to play. That's a fast song to keep in time with. He did okay. I only heard like 2 or 3 bad notes. But who am I to say? I'm just a autistic boy sitting behind a counter, behind a microphone, trying to entertain you guys and put you to sleep as well. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to what you got to do. My name is The Deacon. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks and stuff. We'd love to hear from you. We love to take care of you as well. My name is The Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait. Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.